So hi all, I'm Abby anyway, and I'm looking at starting my, well, I guess like a bit of a blog really, along here. The reason why I'm doing it is because I want to really give somebody, and everyone a bit of a scene, if you could put it, to life, like when you're suffering with mental health, how I cope, the ups and the downs really, because I kind of believe that Facebook nowadays is, well, any social media really, is all about the good stuff. We don't really see the bad stuff. And as you might know, really, from if you know me personally, I do suffer with mental health and I have really had some lows and I've really had some highs. And I don't like to go on about the lows, but like we all suffer. And I think with being on social media, what I find is a lot of what we see is, again, people that are getting married, they're having children, going on holiday, getting everything they want, and you don't really see the other stuff, like the shit stuff. So if you do swear, that will happen. That's what I wanted to really start, to be fair, and really get a bit more of that. This is life. This is what we do. This is how I cope, and so on, really. And I really hope, in doing so, I can possibly help some people as well. Um, so yeah, first sort of post. I don't really know how really to start. I had loads of ideas today, but yeah, I'm kind of a bit lost at the time. I really should start to make some notes, I think. So yeah, so a little bit about me then, really. So last week I had a terrible week. I come down with a cold, and like it was sinus infection and everything like that as well. And it got to sort of Monday. Sunday I was brilliant, fine. Monday came and I wasn't fine. I really wasn't. And obviously, being unwell as well, I think that really affected my mental health. And when I get to that point, I don't want to be on my own. So the first thing I sort of did as soon as I started to feel so unwell and I couldn't cope was I took off. I obviously spoke to my boss and I said, look, I'm not really feeling very well at all. Can I go? And it was starting to get, my cough was starting to get like on my chest. And my emotions were really high as well. And I could start to feel, I don't know if anybody else gets this, but I start to feel like everywhere feels a bit dark. Like my house feels very lonely. Um, just a bit of a update on there really. So I bought a house a couple of years ago. I don't have a garden. Thought it'd be perfect. And I also don't have the sun that comes in the house from the front. And if I'm in my living room slash kitchen, I often feel like it gets really dark. Something to do with something in my childhood, from what I found out from counselling before. But yeah, it's something to do with, it kind of brings bad memories back to me, but I don't really know that memory completely yet. I'm starting to find that out and starting to figure things out really. But yeah, so I get this, like everything feels a bit dark and dull, and I hate being in. And then my thoughts get worse, and obviously I start to really put myself down, and then I get really tearful. So as soon as I felt like this, I knew I had to get out of the house, and I knew I had to do something about it. And I've got plenty of techniques that I could use, but at that time I didn't feel at the capability to want to do the techniques. I just needed to be around somebody. So I went straight away to my mum, and also my stepdad, just to be around somebody. And do you know what? The whole of the afternoon was a washout, really, to be fair. I just cried and I cried and I cried. And it kind of made me think, I think a lot of it is like mental health. I think a lot of it is looking into also our own needs. So within our job, within our day-to-day life, within our personal lives, our relationships with friends, families, partners, whatever really, we all have needs that need to be met, like emotional needs as well as physical needs, but emotional needs. And it started to get me thinking about them needs really. I mean, I'm the sort of person that wants to help people, and really, like, I'll always say yes, and then I'll say yes and I'll be feeling really sort of quite drained, like got so much going on at home, like trying to get some housework done, got work to do, and I'm thinking, why have I said yes? I'm just going to do it, and I just go along with it. And then I realised that's not actually meeting my needs. My needs are like, I need to actually have my house clean to feel like I'm a bit more settled at home. Or it might be that I need to just get out and just be with a friend for a little bit, or a family. So anyway, going back to the week really, it was very up and down. I think Monday I had a really low day, and with me, I when I have a low day, I always feel like I'm going to go backwards. I always, and that was what really scares me, is the fact of, am I going to go back? Am I going to go back to feeling the lowest of the low that I felt previously before? Am I going to go back to that dark feeling? Oh my gosh, I'm going to be on my own. I'm going to end up like with nothing. I could lose my job. I really start to scenario in my head, if you'd like to call it that, really. And it's scary. As you all know, like, you've all been there, and we've all had different thoughts. Not saying they're like mine. Not saying anyone will understand that darkness feeling like I get with my house. But yeah, it's that scary thought of going backwards. And when I get like that, it really just drained me. And obviously, not feeling very well as well had a massive effect on that. Anyway, Monday, I think I had tears like up until like a good part of the evening, and by that fact, got home and I was drained and just needed to sleep. But I still wanted to feel like I didn't want to be on my own. So the next day, again, I weren't feeling completely great. I was hoping to do a little bit of work just to keep my mind busy. I think my boss knew that maybe rest was the best way to do it, and I'm glad she did tell me to rest, really, because that is what I did. But I did go to my mum's again, and just be around people. I weren't exactly talking to them because I weren't very talkative. I didn't feel great, but just being in a different environment, other than here, really, and on my own. I don't know what it is, but all I can say is my biggest regret is buying a house where I don't have a lot of light that comes from my living room. I can get it upstairs, but who wants to spend all day upstairs in your bedroom when you know that possibly staying like upstairs in your bedroom is not going to be good for you? I mean, that's one thing I do know. But when I feel like this, obviously I've no motivation or anything. So my biggest tip for anybody that's feeling like that is just get out, go anywhere. I mean, before I've gone and actually sat at Autumn Mere, so Autumn Locks, and I've just sat there and read a book. And to be fair, when I do feel at that stage, I do find it really hard to read a book. But I think the fact you've got a lot of people sort of around you, it was quite a nice day at that point. It kind of took my mind off of where I was at that point, and I kind of sort of focus on the nature and the water. Water really helps me, like the sound of running water, and just managed to get into my book a bit, and that really uplifted me because I switched off my phone and gave myself a good sort of 2 hours of just reading. I mean, I got into a book that I was really into, so that helped as well. So yeah, again, going anywhere that you know that will help. For me, it was well like Ferry Meadows. That really helps for me because I just get out. And if anybody doesn't know Ferry Meadows, it's a place in Peterborough. There's just lots of greenery and lakes and everything like that. Again, I'm a Cancerian, so it's something to do with, I'm a water baby, I like to call it. So it's something to do with, yeah, I like to be around water. And a lot of my friends as well, they find that going to the beach really helps. And that is another thing. Go to the beach. Even if it's on your own, do it. So yeah, I mean, this week I feel completely different. I spent a lot of the time sort of sleeping last week, resting with my family, with my partner, with my sister, with my friends, really, just keeping myself busy. Because although I didn't feel well at the same time, I knew mentally I felt a little bit sort of tired, a little bit worried. And towards the end of the week, I felt brilliant. And then I like that being on my own again. And I also like, I don't mind being in the house. I have found, talking about going back to needs again, when I'm teaching, so I've been teaching again since Monday, I have found, like, when I'm teaching, my needs are being met. I'm able to help people, and that is exactly why I'm doing this, really. I'm able to help people. I'm able to give people a boost of confidence. And for those of you who don't know, I'm an employability tutor for Cambridge Regional College, so I do help people in the sector of they're not employed at the moment, they've lost confidence and self-esteem, and also they've lost that motivation of, I'm going to be able to get where I want to get, and being able to give that hope to somebody is really, really satisfying. And for anybody that's in that sort of predicament at the minute, where it could be that you're feeling really low in confidence, or you are out of work, you need a little bit of help, you don't really know where to turn, I would really look at the Cambridge Regional College Facebook, one of our students has literally just put something, he actually did a video for us today, and he did a Discover Your Confidence course. And do you know what? Just seeing the video, it just makes you feel so pleased of what we do actually helps people. And I think when you are feeling quite mentally unwell or mentally sort of lower, I think just being able to help somebody is so massive. It really does help. For instance, this week, one of my friends was feeling a bit rubbish. Well, two of my friends actually are feeling quite rubbish. And I just offered one of my friends, do you want to go food shopping with me? At the time, she didn't feel like it. But then once we actually got food shopping, she really, really enjoyed it. It really helped her. And it's just that getting out. And I know it sounds really boring, come food shopping with me. It was 9 o'clock at night. But it again, you're focusing more on the fact that the food in front of you, she hadn't ate a lot. And it's quite the excitement of spending as well, spending the money on the food. And we went to Aldi, so you end up buying more than just food, really. And then yesterday, I had another friend that weren't really feeling herself, and I needed to go to Matalan because I'd gone and picked up some. I'd gone and ordered some Christmas presents for my family, as you do, very early. I'm really organised this year, but again, I was terribly bored last week, and I needed something to occupy my mind as well as resting. And trying to get myself better, I also started ordering Christmas presents. So I went and picked up these Christmas presents for Matalan, and I said to my friend, or my neighbour actually, why don't you come with me to Matalan? I knew she was a bit like, I want to go home and be on my own, which we do. We isolate ourselves. Even though I'm an extrovert, I know, and I don't know if everyone's the same here, but when I feel quite low, I become an introvert. I become very shut off, and I feel terrible telling people about what's going on in my mind. I also, especially my loved ones, more so my partner and really close friends, because I feel like an idiot. I feel like lots of people look at me and think, do you know what, she's got her own house, she's teaching, she's been able to come as far as she has, and you feel a bit ungrateful, sort of complaining about things. So I don't really like to sort of put anything on anybody and say, look, this is how I'm feeling really low, especially my partner at the time, because as you know, being in like new relationships and everything, you want to come across this strong woman, like this strong independent woman, or man, should I say, to any man that's watching this as well. But yes, I really do become this introvert, and I hide it all. And when actually I realise that I don't need to hide it all, and I do let somebody in and try and understand it, I feel so much better. I feel such a relief. So being able to just say to my neighbour, do you know what, just come to Matalan with me. We ended up buying no end of little bits really for house stuff, and then we didn't just go to Matalan, we went to Dunham, and just doing that for myself, it makes me feel so much better. But for her, again, like just getting out and feeling like you have that support there. I mean, I'm around the corner for her, so just that little bit of help, it kind of shows you how grateful you are to have them people around you at that time. And this is why I want to do this really. So in my first video, I'm not very prepared because, as you can tell, I'm sort of just going what's in my head. I have no notes, so I need to be a little bit more prepared. But I've been thinking about this for a while now, and yeah, I want people to see really, what it is like and what you can do, and also see the side of coming out of it. I mean, just from the support of, say, family or friends, or just from going to a different environment. And this week, like I said, I just feel such in a better place. Again, I'm teaching again. I'm been able to help. My needs are being met because I'm helping people and I'm actually enjoying it. I'm marking work. I'm seeing a massive change in them because it's employability. I'm seeing the start of how they are to like how they then improve and develop their confidence, self-esteem, and all their emotional well-beings really. And that's really nice, and also their social skills. So so anybody that wants to sort of see what I do, please go onto Cambridge Regional College site, and it's under Discover Your Confidence course. You will see a video of one of our students, and it just really touches my heart, and that is what I love to do, and that kind of will show you a little bit more into why I do what I do as well. So anyway, I'm going to cut this short now because I have some marking to do. So I'm hoping this helps a little bit. You might know a little bit more about me from it. Please, no judgmental comments. I will delete you and block you if I have to. I really don't care if I offend anybody saying that, but I don't. No one needs it. If you can't understand what I'm telling you, I'm honestly don't watch it. Don't watch it or run from me. Sorry to be really harsh, but you know, like, I've been there. We take judgmental comments on, and it makes us feel worse. Anybody that's suffering with any sort of mental health, it doesn't mean that they're suffering mental health all the time. It just means that they're having down days or down weeks. It happens. It happens to all of us. Some people suffer a lot more than others. Some people have feelings and thoughts, and like myself, like with the darkness, feeling like that it's too dark and that makes me feel very lonely. Like, I feel like that, but somebody else won't. It At some point in your life, somebody that's watching this video thinking this is a load of rubbish, I don't understand why you're doing this, you will suffer at some point, and I really hope you don't. But at the same stage, there will be a point in your life where you do think, like, shit, I actually do feel a bit rubbish. Like, what is this? So we really need to stop that whole stigma around mental health and around how people feel low and get these thoughts. Because you know what? If it was as easy as turning it off, like a switch, everyone would be doing it. Everyone would be taking that magic pill to help you feel better. Everyone would be literally just going on as life is normal. But do you know what? We go on as life is normal, but we hide a lot of things. And that is what I want to show people, that from my Facebook, from my social media, it might look all like black and gold and like wow. And I know from some of the people I also have on my social media accounts and Instagrams, especially celebrities, I mean, come on, it is all like wow, they've got this money, they've got this wardrobe like full of clothes, they're going on these luxury holidays, they've got this amazing like social life. It's all of that, and we don't really see what goes on in the background. I mean, we are a little bit more now, and that's what I wanted to just sort of show you a little bit of mine. I mean, a normal life. I'm not a celebrity. But yeah, I'm gonna shut up now because I do go on. You will find that. But anyway, I hope it helps, and I will speak to you all soon.